Dreams play a major role in the Joseph story. There are three pairs of dreams. In last week's Parsha, Joseph's two dreams that he shares with his brothers, and the two dreams of Pharaoh's ministers, the cupbearer and the baker. And in this week's Parsha, Parashat Miketz, Pharaoh's two dreams. One of 7 lean cows eating the 7 healthy, robust cows, and one of 7 thin ears of corn eating 7 large, healthy ears of corn. All of these dreams, like most dreams, are visual in nature, pictorial, based on images. But the images in these dreams, again, like in most dreams, while they have some realistic elements, they're not realistic. They're imaginative. They defy logic. In each of these dreams, there is an unusual, unnatural event. Skinny cows eating fat cows, stars and grains that are personified and activated, the natural process of vine growth being sped up. It's not surprising that dreams then have inspired art, which tries to represent these strange images and bizarre juxtapositions. Although dreams have fascinated artists for centuries, the artistic movements most associated with dreams only developed in the 19th and 20th centuries. Symbolism and Surrealism. In the late 19th century, symbolist painters returned dreams to the forefront of artistic expression. Symbolists included famous artists like Gauguin and Klimt and Rousseau and Munch. Symbolists rebelled against and rejected realism and literal representation. Instead, they used dream metaphors that were personal, otherworldly, imaginative, escapist, fantastical, mysterious, and obscure and ambiguous, as we'll see. For example, symbolist French artist Rodin was named the Prince of Mysterious Dreams. His work is almost entirely devoted to dreams, incongruous imagery. He said he wanted to place, quote, the logic of the visible at the service of the invisible. What cannot actually be seen in reality, to him, was more important than what can be. His art and the art of other symbolists leaves us with the question, what does it mean? And this, of course, is also the fundamental question of dream interpretation. It's not a coincidence that psychiatry and psychoanalysis were developing at exactly the same time. Sigmund Freud's probing into the unconscious and the meaning of dreams resonated with the symbolists. Freud's work, The Interpretation of Dreams, strongly influenced the movement of Surrealism, artists who try to unravel the unconscious and free the imagination through their work. In Surrealist art, the dreamer himself is not usually depicted. Instead, the viewer is directly confronted with the inner workings of the dream. So, for example, German artist Mark Ernst, in both of these images here, you can see the startlingly illogical composition. A tower-like form with human arms spins precariously on a bare desert background. And in the black and white image, a seemingly random collage of insects, fish, and anatomical drawings. What does it mean? Of course, Spanish surrealist Salvador Dali, like Freud, considered dreams as central rather than marginal to human thought. He actually conducted dream experiments in which he would fall asleep sitting in a chair and holding a key in his hand, so that after he fell asleep, the key would fall from his grasp and clatter onto a metal plate below, waking him up. He then immediately painted the images that had passed before his eyes in his dreams. He calls his work hand-painted dream photographs. He would often first create a real-world setting, such as a desert or a field, then insert what he had witnessed while asleep to infuse it with the surreal. It was through this practice that his most recognizable dreamlike figures were born. Distorted, melting, bloated, and stretched people, creatures, and objects. Like Dali, French surrealist René Magritte often painted everyday objects out of context, in juxtapositions, forcing the viewer to reconsider things normally taken for granted. Like a dream, art both is true and isn't true. Both art and dreams replace what is with what could be. Both generate an altered state of consciousness, and both lend themselves to interpretation, to the basic question of what does it mean? Returning to our biblical dreams, it is clear from the stories in Bereshit that there was an ancient need for and value in dream interpretation. And the Talmud, which discusses dreams extensively in Masechet Brachot, tells us a dream uninterpreted is a letter unread. Although Yosef, the rabbis, Freud, and Dali might not all agree on how to interpret dream symbology, they would agree that there is importance, whether it be spiritual, psychological, or artistic, in what lies outside the realm of our here and now physical and rational, logical existence. What makes us human is the imaginative and mysterious realm of our art, our souls, and our dreams. I absolutely fell in love with this idea for an art project on surrealism and dreams. What you see here is student work from a great art blog called A Faithful Attempt. It's basically just a simple magazine collage, but in a surrealist style. So looking for a realistic background and then combining it with strange and interesting, seemingly unrelated images. It's so much fun. You could have kids try to recreate the biblical dreams or their own dreams, or just make something up, but then you could have them try to assign meaning to their collages after the fact. Or, it could be fun, try to interpret the works of their peers. So I played around with this myself, and just took a stack of my kids' magazines, don't tell them, and started cutting first backgrounds and then objects, and I think they came out really cool. This one I think looks very Dali, I guess. And actually only after the fact, like I thought it was random, but then after the fact, I really said, I was like, oh wait, maybe this is because I live in the desert and this is like a mask because everyone's wearing masks now and time is running out and my daughter plays guitar. I don't know. So you could really have a lot of fun with that. This one I just played with because I saw a cow, so it made me think of Pharaoh's dream. And this astronaut guy looked surreal. This one I really like. So silly, but I really had fun. The big picture was this picture of the bird, and then I added this hand with the microphone and this earth instead of the sun, and this girl freaking out. Anyway, it was really, really, really fun to create these. And I think both kids and adults would really enjoy the experience and the playfulness. Chanukah Sameach and Shabbat Shalom. Stop recording.